overpopulation is that it dash leads to low demand of goods. B. Reduces balance of payment difficulties. C. Leads to a fall in per capita income. D. Reduces pressure on available social facilities. Now let's now see them one after the other and try to answer the questions. The first question that says, which of the following does not increase the population of a country? The option A says an increase in the birth rate, no. The option B says decrease in death rate, yes. That means decrease in death rate, really, it does not increase the population of a country. Number 2, a nation with a working population that is insufficient to exploit the resources is said to be dash. A. Overpopulated, no. B. Underpopulated, yes. That is the country that is that doesn't have enough people to exploit the available resources. And number 3, at optimum population level, a country is said to be having the highest output per capita, and that is option D as the correct answer. And number 4, census of population is usually conducted every 10 years. That is the common range of years. That makes the option C to be the correct answer for number 4. And the last question is, one economic implication of overpopulation is that it reduces pressure on the available social facilities. That is one of the implications of overpopulation. Now we are to consider the topic money. Money is any item that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services and repayment of debt in a particular country or socio-economic context, or anything that is easily converted to such is referred to as money. But before the advent of money, before we started using money, there has been a kind of trade activities that has been going on called trade by barter. Trade by barter is a primitive method of economic transaction that is being carried out with the exchange of goods for goods and services for services. People used to exchange goods with others in order to satisfy their wants. Barter system refers to exchange of goods for goods and services for services. In such an economy where there is no direct means of transaction with the use of money, they have no other choice than to exchange what they have for what they want, and the other way around, and that is what we call trade by barter. For example, when a farmer gives out wheat that he has produced to get clothes from a tailor, that is trade by barter that has taken place. And in that case, you need to look for the person that has what you want, and at the same time ready to take what you have in exchange for the economic transaction to take place. That is trade by barter. See an example of someone with tomatoes and the other one with a bowl of beans. The two of them need what the other wants. The other one is having, and they want to exchange. That kind of transaction is what we call trade by barter. But this trade by barter has a series of limitations. It has some disadvantages that makes it somehow something that is not being held off again today. That is the disadvantages. The first one is lack of double coincidence of wants. The inability of two people to have what the other one wants and want what the other one is having is what is referred to as lack of double coincidence of wants. Everybody wants one thing or the other, but for you to get what you want, you need to have what the other one needs so that you'll be able to exchange it. For example, someone that is having a tomato, like we saw the other time, must be ready to take what the other one is having, which is beans, in order to exchange with the other person. In such situation, it's somehow difficult to establish such a relationship where you have what you want, what the other wants. Another limitation is lack of common measure of value. In the barter system, all commodities are not of equal value, and there is no common measure or unit of goods and services. There is no common measure to use to value one goods to the other. Therefore, everybody wants different things. How can we establish the rate of value of one goods to the other? A farmer that has bags of beans and wants to get meat from someone that rears cow, how many bags of beans can be exchanged for a very big fat cow? It's somehow difficult to establish in such situation. So that is another big factor, another big problem of trade by barter, or what we call barter system. Another difficulties or another problem is lack of standard of deferred payments. Under barter system, contracts involving future payments or credit transaction cannot take place with ease because there are no goods that the goods that can stay longer and withstand some limitations along the way over a period of time. They are very, very small. There are so many perishable goods that cannot stand longer, and for that reason, it makes future transaction somehow difficult, or credit transaction somehow difficult. Also, the borrower may not be able to arrange goods of exactly the same quality at the same time of repayment. That is, the goods that you are collecting at this moment, maybe this year, and you want to pay back in the next 1 or 2 years, you may not be able to establish the value of the goods right now with the value of the goods you want to pay back in the nearest future. Also, there may be difficulty in, there may be kind of conflict regarding which specific commodity is being used for repayment. You collect something, a kind of goods right now. What goods are you using to pay back in the future? You may not have this exact good you collected at that moment you want to pay back when it is time to pay. That one is another thing that makes it difficult. And the commodity to be repaid may lose or gain its value in the future. If you collect a bag of rice today and you want to pay back next year, the value of the bag of rice today may be greater or lower to the value of the same bag of rice at the time you want to pay back. These are some of the things that make future transaction or credit transaction somehow difficult under barter system. The last one is lack of store of value. Under barter system, it is difficult for people to store wealth for future use. It is difficult because most of the goods like wheat, like rice and vegetables do not possess durability. They don't last before they get spoiled. So it makes it difficult to store wealth. Also, storage of goods requires time and effort, and such time and effort may not be available. As a result, goods cannot be used to store for earning in the future, and that is a very big problem with barter system. With so many difficulties of barter system, there is no other option than to create an item that will be used in exchange of barter system and will be good for economic transaction. And that is how the issue of money come about, and money was started being used up to today. Now, let's look at the functions of money. We have 4 major functions of money. Number 1, money provides a measure of value. Number 2, money is a medium of exchange. And number 3, it serves as a standard of deferred payment, unlike barter system. And number 4, which is the last one, it is a store of value that can retain its value for a very long time. Now, other subtopics to consider are the characteristics of money. What are the things to see with an item before we can consider it as money. One, generally acceptability. Money must be generally acceptable. It must be something that can be exchanged for goods anywhere, anytime, that everybody accepts and they agree with. Number two, it must be durable. The need to withstand everyday transaction, everyday wear and tear is very, very important. Therefore, money must be something durable, something that doesn't wear out easily and quickly. Number three is portability. Money must be portable. It must be easily carried about. It must not be too big and it must not be too heavy. It must be something that is very easy to carry. And number four, money must be stable in value. That is, the worth of money must be the same all over. The worth of 10 naira in the south must be the worth of 10 naira in the north. It must be the same. And number five, money must be relatively scarce. It must be something you work for before you get. It must not be too scarce, and at the same time, it must not be too much available around. Number six, money must be homogeneous. Money must be something that is of the same size, of the same color, and of the same quality nationwide. It must be the same. Then number seven, money must be divisible. It must be easy to be divided into smaller denominations. It must not be something that we can't divide easily. Then number eight, money must be recognizable. It must be something that everybody recognizes and they identify that, oh, this is a particular amount of money and well identified. And the last one, it must be difficult to counterfeit. It must be difficult to copy, so that not just anybody will be able to copy it and have their own fake all around in the society. These are the these are the qualities and the features of money that is very, very